first time Yudhishthira is calling him Gridra. He's calling him a vulture who wants to grab our property which belongs to my father. Gridro Raja Dhritarashtra Swadharmam Nanuvashyati. He is greedy. Always the great philosophers have talked about need and greed. As you grow older, at least 50, after 50 find out whether it is need or greed. Before 50 we forgive you. After 50, you find out whether it is need or greed. He has his property. Why should he grab my property? My father's paternal property. Why should he grab that? Because of lobha. Lobha is greed. Trying to get more than what you need is greed. That is the analysis of greed. Lobha prajnanam ahanti prajnam hanti hatakriyam khri hata bhagate dharmam dharmo hanti hatashriyam. This is the way man falls. When you have lobha, when you have greed, your viveka is gone. Your discrimination, prajna is gone. And prajna is gone, then you have lost sense of shame. When your discrimination is gone, you lose your sense of shame. You do whatever you want to do. When the sense of shame is gone, that affects dharma. And when dharma is gone, all prosperity is gone. Because dharma kills the one who does not adopt dharma. He dharmo rakshite raksha. He who protects dharma is protected by dharma. He who destroys dharma is destroyed by dharma. This is what the foregone conclusion. Apushpat apalat praksham yatha Krishna matatrinaha. Where there is no dharma, there will be no prosperity. How? Just as a tree which has no fruits and no flowers will have no birds sitting on it. That is how people will desert. That is how prosperity will be gone. Priyascha priyakamascha gatijnam krurakarmanam kohi Krishna asti nastvadrit sarva nishchayavit suhrut. Who is dearer than you, Krishna, to us? You know your Priya, you are dear to us. Priya Kamascha, you want to do good to us. Gatijnam, you know what is happening. You know what is happening and you know all those karmana. You know what are the sacrilegious acts that they have, atrocities that they have perpetrated. You know about everything. You know the whole family history. Kohi Krishnosti, who is there equal to you? Except you, we don't find anyone who can go and represent us. Ubhayore mamarthe yasyami guru samsadi. I will go there. I will talk to them. Namayamaitat padam Krishna yatvam yaya gurun prati suyodhanam suttamapi na karishyati devachaha sametam antimam shatram duryodhana vashanugam tesham madhyamataranam Krishna tava Krishna naruchaye. I can't forget these words of Yudhishthira. Krishna, yes, Yudhishthira, don't go alone. I'm scared for you. How do you like the intimacy? Yudhishthira said, that fellow Duryodhana is a foul villain. He will be up to machinations. Be careful, Krishna. Be careful. You're going alone, Naroche. I don't want you to go alone. Remember, he alone rules the world, my dear listeners. He alone rules the world. And yet, the intimate friendship between Yudhishthira and Krishna. Naroche, I don't like you going alone. When you're sending somebody dear into the lion's den or the enemy's den, you're afraid. Akile bachao, Kanam, akile bachao. Humko dar lagta hai. I'm afraid of your safety. God must be giving him an omniscience. The whole of the Bhagavata describes him as one of whom fear is afraid. How do you like this? Fear is afraid of him. That is my good Bhagavashama. That is my master. When you chant his name, you overcome fear. How can he be afraid? But Yudhishthira thinks he is an ordinary human being. Lovely cousin, going on a very difficult job. The mission is very difficult, so he's afraid. He's afraid of what is going to happen. He says, Krishna, don't go alone. Krishna says, don't worry. If they try some foul mischief, I will burn the whole of their dynasty and come. Nivitahe Gurun Sarvam Iti Me Viyadevati Na Jatu Gamanam Partha bhavet tatra hirarthakam. I will go and fulfill whatever purpose has to be fulfilled. Now, Krishna is asking them, Yattattubhyam rochate Krishna swasti prapnohi kauravam pratartham swasti mantam tvam drakshyami puraragatam. Go and speak whatever you think is right, but come back safely. Come back safe. I'm only worried about your physical safety. Again he is repeating it. Krishna is telling them, Yatvam uparinam nagam yute vanchitavantalam. Krishna is building up the case. Have you forgotten? 12 years plus 1 year, 13 years of punishment. Before that, how much you suffered. Pitamahasya dronasya vidurasya dhimataha brahmananam cha sadhunam rajnyasya nagarasya cha pashyatam guru mukhyanam sarveshyameva tattvataha danashilam prudum dhartam dharmashilam anuvratam. In the presence of sagacious company, the great statesman called Bhishma, Drona, Kripa, you innocent man, you were cheated by that cunning fellow called Shakuni. How have you forgotten that? Yatva upadina tadrajan upadina. It is through cunning. Jyute vanchitavantara sarve duryodhanam tatra nindantisma samhasara. Even the counselors are blaming him for it. Sarvata yuddham evaham ashansami paresaha nimittani sarvani tada pradurbhavanti duryodhano nai alam advadatum jivam navaitat drupade katanchit yatte purattam abhavat samruddham yute dhrutam pandava mukhya rajyam. Whatever was taken away by you has to be given back to you. The game of dice was a game of life. We have to win it back. Bhima says, you know, when it comes to a quarrel between brothers, generally brothers are against brothers, and they are about to file a case in the court. When the lawyer is asking them, what do you want to do? Try to make peace. When the climax is approaching, you suddenly back out. You don't want to precipitate a crisis. Suddenly, even the violent one becomes quiet. You speak what you want to speak, Krishna. You do what you want to do, Krishna. Don't aggravate the situation. Please don't enrage them. Do what you want. Krishna says, you fellow, in the presence of everyone, you said that you will amputate the hand of Dushasana without anesthesia. You said that, why are you eating your words now? What happens to people when it comes to the crisis? Why do they back out? There is something within them which makes them withdraw. Something, last moment, something makes them withdraw. Itisma madhye bhradrinam satyena alavase galam tasyate prashave buddhi griyate adya parantapa aho yuddhavikankshanam yuddhakale upatite chetam se viprati. How can your mind change? How can the decision change? Tell me. Bhima said, no. Please don't mistake me. I still want to take revenge. But in the presence of his brother, he doesn't want to use violent language. Arjuna says, Tasmanyam manyase yuktam. Please go and speak whatever is becoming on our part to say. You are a representative. You go and tell them. Aham jatat karishyami param purushakaratah. Now it comes to Nakula. Nakula says, Uttam bahuvidam vakyam dharma rajena madhava dharmajnena vadanyena nashrutam chaivahi paya sarvametat atikramya shutva paramadam bhavan yat praktakalam manyetha tat purya purushottamam. You have heard what Dharmaraja has said. You think it over. Whatever is good for us, please go and deliver that speech there. Saradeva is outspoken. My master Krishna had a very fine episode about Saradeva. He tells Saradeva is telling Krishna, don't play act. You are pretending to go for peace in your desires of war. We know what you are up to. Clear. Your nature is clear. There is an episode which my master is to describe. How can you stop the war? The Lord is asking. Two ways. Shave the head of Draupadi so that she doesn't have to bathe her long tresses in the blood of Dushasana. Second, arrest you. Put you behind bars. That's the only way to stop the war. The Lord says, can you arrest me? And Sahadeva goes into deep meditation. The microcosm, arrest the microcosm, my dear listeners. In the heart of Sahadeva, the Lord is caught. The Lord says, release me. I have to go as an ambassador. Don't let people know that I am God. They think I am flute player of the ballad. Let this drama continue. Let this play acting continue. Sahadeva is one of those powerful bhaktas who can hold the Lord in his heart, the Santaryami. He holds him in his heart. The Lord says, release me, I have to go. And now Sahadeva says, Krishna, please don't mince matters, call a spade, ask for a war. You understand? Yes, I do. Yadi prashanam ichheyo purava pandave saha tatapi yuddham dashara yojitha sahai taihi. Even if they want peace, say you want war. Because we want war. 13 years we have suppressed vendetta. 13 years we have been nurturing our pride. We can't bear it anymore, and we must have our rights, and we will fight and have our rights. Yadi bhimarjuna Krishna dharmarajatya dharmikaha dharmam utsrajyate naham yotum ikshami samyuge bruhi mat vachanam Krishna suyodhanam apanditam krishne vane vaktavyam ureva nagasakvase. Nagasakvaye, let me tell you, Krishna, if my great brother Dharmaraja is adopting and adapting dharma, let him remain where he is. If Krishna and Bhima want to be with him, let them be with him. I am abandoning them, I will fight alone, Krishna. Sahadeva says, I will fight. I will continue the battle. And go and tell, please go and tell Duryodhana, either we live in the forest or we rule the kingdom. There are only two choices. Either he also lives in the forest and we rule in the kingdom, or we rule the kingdom and he lives in the forest. Go and tell him, Krishna, go and tell him. It is at this time, Satyaki is also there, the great charioteer. Tasmat madri sudashura yadaha ranakarkashaha vachanam sarva yodhanam tatmatam purushottama. Satyaki says, I represent the fighting community on our side. We want war. Rajnyantu vachanam shritva dharmanta saitam hitam Krishna dasharamasidam abravi shokadarshita I want you to know the culture of our great country. Don't think women were kitchen maids. Don't think women were subservient. Even in the political decision about to have a war or not to have a war, Draupadi is being consulted, my dear listeners. She has a vote. She has a very special vote. Now comes Krishna. She is called Krishna. He is called Krishna. She is called Krishna. Akaran, the Sri. The most dramatic scene I have ever come across in the Mahabharata. The Lord stands there and she comes. B.R. Chopra will find it very easy to direct because Vedavyaski has given us every little minute, meticulous detail about the scene. Apraye Shokadarshita. She is a living monument of the suffering that they have gone through. Pancharantam tadiyantam Brahmayati mahayudhe Avisthalam vrikattalam makandim varanavatam avasanam mahabahu kanchit ekam tu panchakam. We are for 5 villages. Apradamena rajyasya yadi Krishna suyodhana sandhimichenna kartavyam tatra gatva katanchana. They are not giving us anything. Then don't try to have truce with them. No peace with them. Tasmat teishu nakartavya kripate Yathavadhe madhyamane bhavet dosho dhanandana. Let me tell you give you some legal advice. Those who want to be killed have to be killed. That is why some unprecedented decisions have to be taken politically. Those who have to be killed have to be killed. Those who have to be spared have to be spared. Punaruktam javakshami vishrambhena janardana. She comes close to Krishna and says, has anybody suffered like me? Has anybody gone through trials and tribulations like me? Kahatu simantini madri prativyavasti keshava. Is there any woman who has gone through my tragedy? Suta Drupadarajasya. I am the daughter of Drupadaraja. Vedi Madhyagata Madhya Samutthita. I am not a maternity what product. I had a sublime birth. I was born out of sacrificial fire. Drishtadyumnasya Bhagini Tava Krishna Priya Sakhi. I'm dear to you, Krishna, your dear friend. And Drishtadyumna, the great Drishtadyumna's sister. Ajameda Kulam Prapta. I came to the Pandava family. Snusha Pando Mahatmana. I am the daughter of Pandu Maharaja. Mahishi Pandu Putranam Panchendra Samavarchasam. 5 stalwart husbands of mine and their wife. Sutame Panchavritini. I have got Upapandavas, 5 valiant sons. Panchajata Maharatha. And look at her. Large-heartedness. Abhimanyu is also my son. Although he is born to Subhadra, he is Arjuna's son. She says, my son Abhimanyu. That is how even a stepmother accepts the hero. Abhimanyu yatha Krishna tatha te tava dharmataha saham keshagraham prapta pariklishta sabhangata pashataham panduputranam tvai chivati keshava. I was pulled by my long tresses, serpentine tresses, along the floor of the court, and you were alive. You, God, witness alive. Tvai chivati keshava. Nobody stopped that atrocity. Memories kill me, Krishna, memories kill me. I can't forget that scene. Jivan Susadhu, Pandaputreshu, Panchaleshu, Atarishtishu, Dasi Bhuta. I was treated like a slave woman in an open court. The court that became a casino. The game of dice, it was the game of life. Papa Nam Sabha Madhye Vyavasthita. Pahima Viti Govinda. Krishna Dwaraka Vasin. Kwasiyana Vadandana. Imam Avastham Samprata. Anatham Kimupekshasi. My master Dishtar used to say, she cried out in her heart of hearts. Whenever there is a calamity, God forbid, whenever there is a calamity, forget everything except Krishna. Mahadyapani Samprate Bhaktavyo Bhagavan Harihi. Among the 9 types of devotion, Smarana. Smarana is Smriti, memory. Memory is very tricky. You will forget the Lord. But we preachers come to remind you again and again of the Lord. That is our duty. Never forget the Lord. Never forget the Lord. When you remember him, what happens? Mahatyapani Samprapte. She knew what Vyasa had said. Whenever there is a calamity, call out for Krishna. And she called out, Ha Krishna Dwaraka Kwasiya Devanandana. Where are you, Krishna? Oh coward boy. My master is sitting on a couch along with Rukmini, and his throat is choked with emotion. Rukmini says, what's the matter? My devotee, sister, friend, Draupadi is cursing me. No, Krishna, she's praising you. Ha Krishna Dwaraka Kwasi Yadavanandana. No, Rukmini. My devotees are very clever. Read between the lines. You will understand what she's up to. Ha Krishna Dwaraka. Who said you are omnipresent, Master Vishnu Vashankaro, the Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu. You are confined to the zip code of Dwarka, sitting with your wife indifferent present of immortals, from Swami said that. You are indifferent to what is happening to human tragedy. Dwarka Vasin, Kwasiya Devanandana, cowboy boy, guy chalana aata hai re, duniya chalana nahi aata tujhko. Who said you are managing the world? Best manager of the world. If that was not so, I wouldn't be insulted as I am today. Vasi Adavanandana, Imam Avasthan Sampraktam, Anaham Himuvechase. When you are very sad, that day Venkateshwara will wear all his diamonds. I call him Hitler. The day you are broke, extra diamonds. I said, why Narayana? Why this sadism? That's how he speaks. You are wearing a lovely silk and I am being disrobed here, Krishna. Disrobe, my master, disrobe. Cry out to him. Cry out with all your heart and make him cry, says the Mahabharata. I told the Lord in one of my songs, I make you cry. I sing song that will bring stinging tears to your ear, to your eye, and you will come to wipe my tears and I will wipe yours, Krishna. मैं ऐसे गीत गाऊंगी कि तुझको रुलाऊंगी, मैं ऐसे गीत गाऊंगी कि तुझको रुलाऊंगी, रोते रोते आओगी मेरे आंसू पोंछ जाओगी, रोते रोते आओगी मेरे आंसू पोंछ जाओगी, मैं तेरे आंसू पोंछूंगी तुम मेरे आंसू पोंछोगी, मैं ऐसे गीत गाऊंगी कि तुझको रुलाऊंगी. If you like this song, make him cry, make him cry. If you cry out with all your heart, he cries. He's the only one who sympathizes. Husbands are indifferent, wives are indifferent, children are most indifferent, brothers are totally indifferent, partners are inevitably indifferent. But Krishna is totally sympathetic, my dear. Totally. I cried out to you, Krishna, and you came, Master. You came and saved me. Pahi mamiti govindam manasa chintitosi me. Evam vidhanam dukkhanam abhigyosi janardana. Trayasva pundarikaksha sabhatrignati bandhavan, save me. Save my dynasty. Save my relative. Yadite aham anugrahyam. If you have any kripa on me, if you have any compassion for me, yadite asti kripamayi. Dhartarashtreshu kopa vaikopa sarvat krishna vidiyatam. Go and pour out your anger and wrath on the Dhartarashtra, sons of Dhritarashtra. Sometimes silence is more eloquent than speech. After saying all this, Vyachora, she walks towards Krishna. Yeah. Ityuktva samharam prajinagram sudarshanam sunilam asita pangi sarvagandha divasitam. Long hair she has, serpentine, wavy, dark. As she is walking towards Krishna, she is combing her hair with her left hand, tapering fingers. Sarvalakshana sampannam mahabhujagavachasam keshavaksham pararoha grihya mamena panina. You forget my dialogue, don't forget my action. If you forget what I told you, remember these long dresses. For 13 years I have not made a hair. I have not plaited them. They spell revenge, Krishna. They spell revenge. Remember these dresses, my Lord. Remember these dresses. Padmakshi. Lovely eyes she has. What about the Lord's eyes? Pundarikaksham. Padmakshi Pundarikaksham. The best of dancers and the best of dramatists can't forget the scene, my dear listeners. Padmakshi Pundarikaksham Upetya Gajanami. She walks like a beautiful female elephant. And she comes towards him, Ashrupurnekshana Krishna. Remember my tears, Master. My tears are my advocates. Remember these tears, remember these long tresses. Krishnam Vajanam Abravi Ayante Putarikaksha Dushasana Garuddhata Smartavya 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 Sarvakaryeshu Paresham Sandhimikshatam. These artificial pacifists were suddenly changing their opinion. Those who wanted war, want peace now, Master. Listen to me. Listen to me, Krishna. My husbands who have suddenly become cowards. If they are not willing to fight, my old father will fight for me. My brother will fight for me. My children, my Pandavas will fight for me. And my son Abhimanyu will fight for me, Krishna. I will see. Yadi Bhimadino Krishna Kripadao Sandhikamu Pite Pitame Yotsate Vruddha Sahaputri Maharatai Panchaschaiva Mahavirya Putrame Madhusudana Abhimanyum Puraskritya Yotsyante Kurubhis Saha Dushasana Bhujam Shyamam Sanchinnam Pam Sukuntitam. She's visualizing the future torture is going to be suffered by Dushasana. I want his arm to be pulled out of the socket. That heartless fellow who dragged me along the floor. I want revenge, Krishna. I want revenge. Yadyam tanapashyami kashanti hridayasya Ruroda Krishna sotkampam suswaram bhashpagadgadam. Remember, Krishna, you're the only one who can avenge me. You're the only one I can depend on. My husbands have done pacifists. My dear listeners, some words come to my mind. Man challenges man. He wins many times. He wins many times. If God challenges man, it means two things. God's love for that individual and the doom of his victim is inevitable. The Lord loves all creatures created by him, but he cannot tolerate any creature deliberately harming any of his good creatures. The Pandavas are dear to Krishna. Draupadi is dearer still. What does he say? The Lord's declaration. Achira drakshase Krishne rudati bharatastriyaha. You wept all these years. You will see the Kaurava women weeping. Evam vatadhi virotshyanti nihata jnativan dava. They lose all their relative and they will cry. Universal lamentation will prevail in the Duryodhana party. Hatamitra hatavala yesham buddhasi bhavini. You are angry with them. Those people will be destroyed. Really, Krishna? Do I believe you, Krishna? Yes, my dear, yes. I'm coming to the climax, that is why for me the Katha is an experience, not an exposition. What does he say? Draupadi, Yudhishthira Yogena Daivachya Vidinirmitam Chaleti Himavan Shailaham. The Himalayas may start walking. Maybe Shatadan Bhave. Even the world can go into 1,000 smithereens. Deupate Chasana Kshatraha. The starry heavens may crash down. But my words will never fail to come true. This is the Lord's promise. When the Lord makes a promise, how can anybody break it? How can anybody break it? Shushe toyanidhi Krishna. The ocean can dry up. Name moho vacho bhave. Satyam te pratijnanami. Krishne, Krishne. Bashpo nigrishyata. Wipe your tears, my lady. Wipe your tears. Hatamitram Shriya Yuktam Athiram Drakshase Patim. You will see the amitras of your husband, all of them, all the enemies of your husband, all of them will be dead. Aruroha a Vimana like Ratha. He is famous for a chariot. And as he gets into the chariot, Pandava Dharmaraja says, convey our regards to our mother Kunti. We have not met her for 13 years now. I hope you remember, during the banishment, Mother Kunti is not banished. But she can't stay in the enemy's house. That is why Vidura tells Dharmaraja, she will stay in my house, the Prime Minister's house. Not in Duryodhana's house or Dhritarashtra's palace, but she will stay in the house of Vidura. Please go and convey to that beautiful lady who has passed through so many trials and tribulations. My master is passing, the Lord is passing through a place called Vrikasthala. As usual, he is up to some miracle. In Vrikasthala, lot of Brahmins invite him. It's very difficult for a person to go to everybody's house. Only Krishna can do that because he is omnipresent. He goes to one house and that particular Brahmin gives him, offers him hospitality, and he goes to another house. There also he is offered hospitality. At the end of the day, all the Brahmins meet together and say, Krishna came to our house. Then they realize that he is the master of the world. The entire Vrikasthala is full of joy because Krishna visited every Brahmin's house. Every Brahmin's house. Dhartarashram tamayantam pratyuchyatmu swarankrita duryodhana krite sarve bhishma drona kripadayah. Who can forget the scene? My master is entering the darbar of Dhritarashtra. Generally he is beautifully dressed, but as an ambassador he is more beautifully dressed. He is a showman par excellence, and as he is walking, Swagatam.
Swagatam Krishna, Sharanagatam Krishna, Swagatam Krishna, Sharanagatam Krishna, Swagatam Suswagatam Sharanagatam Krishna.
Whenever you come to this scene, you realize the difference between the haughty and the humble. Duryodhana says, come to my palace. Lunch is ready, have it. Is that the way to invite the Lord of the world? Our Shastras say, if you're offered lunch even by your sister without love and respect, don't have it. Unless you're dying of hunger or there is a calamity. Krishna says, I'm either dying of hunger nor there is a calamity, I don't want to eat in your home. Everybody says, come to my palace, come to my palace. It's only Vidura who says, come to your palace, Krishna, come to your palace. And as he entered the palace, the Lord is asking him, when did my mother buy real estate in Hastinapura? The great one called Vidura says, Ishavat Sindhan Sarvam, the whole world is yours, Krishna. The Warren Buffetts and Bill Gates are only living on the crumbs that are left over on the dining table of the Lord, my dear listeners, that is all. The great billionaires are nothing but living on the crumbs. He's the one, the richest of the richest. And there you have the excited Vidura, not knowing what to give. He's giving him banana skin, looking at the lovely face of the Lord. He forgets everything. Every banana still had your devotion in it. Patram pushpam param doyam yome bhaktya protection. That is how the Lord accepts the hospitality of Vidura. And now he is going to He is going to talk to Duryodhana and Bhakti. Tatra Rajasahasraitya Purvidyavi Samritam Dhartarashtra Mahabahum Tadarsha Asena Asane. The great Dhritarashtra sitting on the throne with hundreds of kings around him. Udatishat Sahamatya Pujayan Madhusudanam. I always remember my Guruji giving us an episode. Just before Krishna was arriving in Apuram, you have Duryodhana calling everybody. Rehearsal. Listen to what I say. Cowherd boy of Vrindavan is walking into the court. No one shall stand up. No one shall greet him. This is the high command. Everybody is most unconvinced about it. But that charismatic personality called Shri Krishna, the handsome of handsome, the most cherished of the cherished, the Lord of Lords, the applauded of the applauded, as he is entering. Bhishma stands up, Kripa stands up, Drona stands up, Karna stands up, Ashwatthama stands up, Dhritarashtra, the Lion King stands up, even Duryodhana stands up, says he's such a charismatic personality that you can't read him sitting. And now everybody is worshipping him. Tasmin Gam Madhuvarkam Chami Udakam Cha Janandani. That is how the hospitality is offered. The Vedic way of greeting a Mahatma. Nyamantrayat Bhojanena Nabhyanandar Chakeshavaha. But he would not accept anything from Duryodhana. Why? If he eats the salt of Duryodhana, he has to save him. This kind of khaya usko bachana padega. He doesn't want to accept the hospitality of Duryodhana. Duryodhana is non-plussed. Hey Krishna, we have no property dispute with you. Why do you hate us? What have we done that we deserve your hatred? Very simple, says the Lord. You hate the Pandavas, I love the Pandavas, so I hate you. Very simple. Mama prana hi Pandavaha. Don't think there are 5 Pandavas, there are a bunch of pranas. You hate them, I hate you. Don't you clap for him? So simple. The Lord of the world has declared, I love them because you hate them. And I hate you. They are dear to me, they live by me, they live in me, I live in them. They are everything for me. Mama prana hi Pandavaha. Akasmat vishase rajan. Janma pravritti Pandava. You have a prenatal hatred for them. What can I do with you? You are not changing your mindset. I cannot change mine. Vidura is now asking Krishna, whatever you tell them, they will not listen. It's like playing music to a deaf man's ear. It will never have any effect. After a while, says the Mahabharata, Krishna is asking them, Tvayadhina Shamoradin, Maichavi Vishambate, Putran Thapaya Kauravya, Thapayishyam Yaham Param, Trahirajan Lokam, Nanashyeyu Imam Praja. O Dhritarashtra, I have one advice for you. Please establish your brother's children on the kingdom. Let them have their view. I will install them. I will make them happy. You make them happy and make your children also happy. No. He doesn't want anything to be done about them. The Mahabharata says, Kriyamane Mahabahu Mai Samprati Keshava Yavati Tikshnaya Suchya Vidyeta Grena Keshava. Oh Krishna, Duryodhana retaliates. Not even 5 needle points of ground will I give them. Let alone 5 villages. Needle points, Suchi is sui, no? Needle points I will not give. Tata prahasya dashaha krodamaya pureshanaha duryodhanam idam vakyam abravit purusamsari. You've been advised by everybody and still you're not listening to them. You Duryodhana, Mata Pitripyam, Bhishmena, Dronena, Yurena cha, Shamyeti, Murtosi, Nacha Shamyasi Parthava, and yet you are not listening to them. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Bhishma is trying to convince him, Drona is trying to convince him, and yet he will not listen. Krishna comes out with a great suggestion. This is a practical suggestion for most of us. Sometimes in a family, you have a bad sheep. You have a rotten apple. For the sake of the welfare of the family, you have have to give up that apple. You have to send the person out. Otherwise, the whole basket will rot. The Lord comes with a quotable quote. Kyaje kulathe purusham. For one family's welfare, give up one bad man. Gramasyathe kulam kyaje. For the welfare of the village, give up one family. Gramam janapadasyathe. For the sake of the entire community, give up one village. Banish them. Atmathe prithvi kyaje. Even the whole world can be given up for the sake of Atma. Rajan Duryodhanam Badhva Tatas Samshamya Pandavai. Arrest this fellow called Duryodhana and proceed to be kind and generous to the Pandavas. Krishna Sitat Pachal Sutva Dhritarashtra Janeshwara Gachata Mahaprajna Gandhari Dirghadakshini. Dhritarashtra had half the minutes and half not the minutes. He said, please go and bring Gandhari. Gandhari is the lovely mother of Duryodhana. Maybe she will try to persuade him. But when a man has made up his mind to do the wrong thing, nothing can persuade him. He turns a deaf ear to all advice, everything. Gandhari is brought. Vigarhamana Gandhari Shamartham Vakyamabrali Duryodhana. Listen, my son. Nibodhenam Vacharam Mama Putraka. She calls him little son. She calls him my little son. Putraka. Diminutive form of Putraka. My little son, she is calling him. That 6-footer with a 2-feet helmet, looking like death in garment. Understand? She is calling him Putraka. Hitam te sanubandhasya tatha ayathinam sukhodayam. Please let your bandhavas be happy, let your future be happy. Bhishmo drona kripashatta sukrudam purusatpachaha. Whatever they have told you, please obey them. Please find out that this is the best way for you. Kamam krodham lobham cha dambham darpam cha bhuvima samyak vijetum bhuveda samahi avijayate. He who rules the kingdom should conquer kama, krodha, lobha, moha. Listen, my dear, listen. And then she says, as Krishna and Prabhupada have said, the invincible combination of the Pandavas and Krishna stands before you. Nothing can defeat them. All your military genius, all your military strategy, nothing can defeat the undefeated, the invincible. Atha Bhishma Shantanamaha Drona Chapi Maharataha Ahurtama Tat Satyam Ajeyo Krishna Pandavu. These two have combined together, the best of the Jivatma with the best of the Paramatma. They have combined together to come to annihilate them. Alam Adham Pratibhyaste Sahamantyasta Jeevitum Sukridam Vachane Tishtam Yasha Prapyasi Bharata. You will gain great fame and name in the world. Listen, Duryodhana, listen. No, he says, Mahaprivachanam Anatratya. Mahabharata says, no, I will not listen to your mother, I will not listen. Drishyam sat papa bhuvishta shudra karma sahayavan papaisa sahai samhritya papam karma chikishati. At this time that they fall to very foul means, I am giving you a piece of international political law. International political law demands that the ambassador's physical safety is the first thing. Are you listening? Take any book on international political law. The first time I spoke to the Birla